how would you describe aesthetic in regards to games? Because it seems like that could be a very broad word and could cover a lot of different aspects, not just visuals, right? But
Right, yeah.
also, no, go ahead.
I mean, I specifically pick it because it is very broad and
Yep.
open-ended. It sort of like encompasses the visual style of a game, what it looks like in front of you. Like, not even necessarily to say if the graphics are good, just if they are pleasing for you,
Yeah.
because that is a small distinction that is pretty noteworthy. But it's also soundtrack, sound design, like the pace of the game deals into the aesthetic. If a
Oh
game is
yeah.
rushing you, even if it's very good, it can just feel too strained and frantic. If it's too slow, even if everything else is great, you just kind of get bored. So like there's a lot that goes into like a person's play experience and how like the entire atmosphere of that experience goes into how you go about the game. It sort of it paints the way your brain remembers it.
Sure. Yeah. Do you have any particular games where the I guess I'll call them the passive aesthetics, and by that I mean like visuals, sound design, the story, over are better than the actual play mechanics, which I guess are technically aesthetics too, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So anyway, my going back to my question, are there any games for you where you like those games, particularly for those passive elements?
I don't want to like name this game specifically because I also really like it mechanically. It's very
Okay.
good.
Okay.
But Dust Force is a game that still to date has probably the best combination of like visual and soundtrack design for me.
Okay. It's called Dust Force.
Yeah, it's a precision platformer. You play as what amounts to ninja janitors, and you wander around cleaning these spaces.
It sounds awesome. I have never heard about this. So this is
And
go ahead.
yeah, it sort of has some of the same DNA as like Super Meat Boy or I Want to Be the Hero, one of those games where it's like very precise, very careful platforming is important.
So it's very easy to die, is what you're saying.
It's not a game that like deals with death super
Okay.
much,
Okay.
but the premise of the game is because you are these highly agile janitors, your job is to clean up all of the dust in the zone and do it sort of as smoothly as possible, which the game handles as a combo. If you take too long between sweeping this piece of dust or that piece of dust, you drop your combo, and if one of the enemies, which are dust monsters, hits you, you drop your combo. So the idea is you get every piece of dust in a stage, and you do it without ever losing your combo once, and you get the highest rating for that
Oh.
stage.
Okay, so it's like a score-based game.
Right.
Okay, cool. That sounds like a fun game. I'm gonna have to check it out. So is there any what in particular in those visuals and sound do you like? Like, is it well, maybe we'll just focus on the music for right now, and just like, is there anything in the what in particular in the soundtrack do you really appreciate and enjoy about it?
Okay, there's a musician called Lifeformed who did the whole soundtrack for Dust Force, and his style of music is very like ambient, almost kind of spacey,
Okay.
sort of like natural sounds. And it's the kind of thing I listen to anyway because it's super great for like writing or creating of any sort if you're trying not to let lyrics get into what your fingers are doing.
That's
So it's
funny.
the kind of thing I
I know that.
already listen to.
I can relate to that.